realizes once they have money that they never want money in the first place. They wanted power.
And power is everything. Now, I'm pausing this motherfucker a lot, but it's just a lot of good shit in here, bro. Like, power is everything. This is what I actually say about power a little bit. Power is everything, y'all. I think as a man, everything you do that is not in the pursuit of greater power is a distraction. And you'll be constantly reminded multiple times or all the time when you're not pursuing power that your lack of power is causing you to get exposed. Like, you probably already noticed in your own life, like, when you're doing some fuck shit or doing some shit that doesn't involve you gaining more money, status at all, not making you look better, you'll always notice that when you don't have these things, you get exposed in some way. You know, when you're not have money, when you don't have money and you're put into a situation, you might be like, shit, if I had more money, I could just afford this. If I had more money, I wouldn't have to deal with this. Like, you just zoom out from a particular situation you're in. Man, if I just had money, I wouldn't have to listen to this crying baby on the plane. Man, if I just had money, I could just fly to that state whenever I need to get this thing done. If I just had money, I could do that, and the third. Like, you know? So you're constantly reminded of your inadequacy, but a lot of men, they just ignore it. They're like, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's whatever. I'll just deal with the situation. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I have no money and bitches don't care about me. Even though I want in my mind, I want women to care about me. I want fast cars. I want to be rich and famous. Whatever. You know? Because if I was more famous, more hoes would want me. If I was more rich, more girls would want me. If I was more rich, I'd be able to take care of my family. You guys understand here? Like, your inadequacies and your weaknesses are constantly getting exposed all the time, and you're still choosing to ignore it. You're still choosing to be like, these things don't matter. But no, everything that is not in the pursuit of more power is a distraction. Because every single time you're distracting yourself, you get exposed by lacking power, by lacking money, by lacking status, by lacking capability and skills. You get exposed all the fucking time. And then you just sit there and you're like, damn, that kind of sucked. Let me just go back to doing the dumb shit I was doing. Instead of stepping back and being like, you know what? If I was just more powerful and more capable and richer and more famous and I had more skills and capabilities, I wouldn't have to deal with this problem I'm dealing with right now. But you niggas don't step back. You just stay in the suck for years. And hopefully I'm just waking y'all up to this and making you realize that pursuing power is what makes you fulfilled as a man. Pursuing more money, more status, getting stronger and more capable, having more capabilities makes you fulfilled. And it's not just because of the vanity of pursuing that. It's that when you are pursuing these things and when you have these things, you gain power and influence. And with said power and influence, you can live your life on your terms, fighting who you want to fight, being where you want to be, doing whatever you want to do. But when you lack power and capability, you have no choice. So naturally, you'll be unfulfilled and you'll find ways to cope by distracting yourself. Whereas if you just face the suck, if you face the fact that, damn, if I became more powerful, I wouldn't have to deal with this shit. So all I should be paying attention to is becoming more powerful. Well, then your life would start to improve. At the beginning, of course, not no, because of course it wouldn't, because it takes time to become great. But when you get through that suck at the beginning, your life only gets progressively better because you're focusing on more power, more strength, and more capability, rather than trying to distract yourself with bullshit. I want y'all to become winners, though, bro. That's why I'm building the fam. It's for young and ambitious men. I want you guys to be winners in life so you can enjoy your life. Like, anyone who tries to convince y'all that doing anything other than gaining more power is important, doing anything that isn't you pursuing more power is important, is a fucking retard. And they don't care about you. They don't care about you as a man. I'm gonna be super real, right? I feel as though I have a very deep and strong understanding of what men desire and what men like. Like, my mind is so based into the biology. What is true? What is real? And based off everything I've seen about men, like, that's what it is. The more powerful you become as a man, the more fulfilled you can become. The less powerful you are as a man, the less fulfilled you are. Seems like basic biology to me. Weak men usually hate their lives. Strong men usually enjoy their lives. There's no other way to describe this shit, my niggas. Like, there's no other way to describe this shit. The more powerful you become, the more your life, the more you're fulfilled. Not so you're gonna sit there and do nothing, but the more powerful you become, the more you can fight against things that you don't like, right? When you are not powerful, when you are not strong, when you're doing things that don't involve you gaining more power in your life is just getting worse. You don't feel happier, you don't feel more fulfilled. You find ways to cope and be like, I don't need more power. I don't need to be more rich and more famous. I'm okay just the way I am. Like you'll convince yourself. That's what a lot of you lame niggas do. You convince yourself everything is okay, even though deep down, when you're not getting the shit that you want, it makes you feel bad. So you cope. And I don't want y'all to be copers. Don't fucking cope, y'all.